these sorry reflections of the daughter. None of them will ever dance, ever feel the warmth of their maker's heart. They can never be enough.
After years of searching for her son, the weaver was convinced she had lost him to the dark. One night, there came a knock upon the door. "It's your son," said a voice. "Please let me in." Thinking this was some cruel spirit come to mock her grief, she remained silent until her son gave up and left, never to return again.
Most of my life, I've been afraid of the dark. When I was little, my childminder got annoyed with me and tossed me into a wardrobe as punishment. She let me sit there, alone, and I sat perfectly still so that no closet monsters would notice me. It was the longest, most terrible 15 minutes. Many years later, I don't know what happened, but now I love sitting alone in the dark. I get into the wardrobe, close the doors, and I sit perfectly still. It's like a void, empty, but not cold, where nothing exists and everything is possible.
that just the way the father hoped the daughter would fill his heart with fire, failing to see that she needed a fire of her own, his princess danced away, and he stayed behind, cemented in his ancient groove. The heart is a bottomless pit, never sated, always craving for more. Enough. Keep on walking the midnight walking. Don't run all the way to your infernal doom. She will be there to gobble up the empty.
was one star out that night, and it glowed a cold red. Who took the sun away? The Merkel asked it. But it was too distant, so she could not hear its reply, if it had one. The Merkel had never felt so empty and alone. Lost in quiet despair, she managed to open up to the winds and followed their gentle push south down the midnight walk and to the dark lands. After a long while of following oversized snail-like tracks in the mud, trudging deeper and deeper into the mushroom-ridden swamps, the Merkel heard a harrowing howl. Up on a hill stood a looming figure, dark and still in the quiet of the night. Lo and behold, the Mulgrim, she thought to herself in slack-jawed awe. She greeted the creature with a quivering voice and, unable to restrain herself, asked, "Do you know who took the sun away?" Talking to monsters had never been any Merkel's forte, but this meeting proved spectacularly disastrous. Barely escaping the gnashing teeth of the Mulgrim, she managed to escape by jumping into a lake, following its stream away from the swamps. Although the Mulgrim was far behind her, she could still hear its melancholy howl. Mad with grief, she mumbled, "As I will be, unless I find the sun again." Tired from running, she searched for shelter and found a dark, dank cave. Cozy, even by Merkel's standards. The wind blew cold in the cave, its whispers strangely soothing to the Merkel. The wind blew cold in the cave, its whispers strangely soothing to the Merkel. As it turned out, the whispering belonged to a pack of starving crawlers who had begun circling her. Their language known only to the dark itself. "What are you searching for, little limb tree?" they sounded in guttural unison. "These are dark days, and your kind does not belong anymore." The Merkel gathered her courage. "I am looking for the sun. I know you crawlers eat fire for dinner. Did you eat it?" They sniffed her lantern hungrily, and instinctively, she offered its flame to them. The crawlers cackled like mad chickens. "Keep your fire, Clayling. Take it to the dark itself. Mayhaps there you shall find answers." Before the poor little Merkel could shriek, the crawlers had gone with the wind. Knowing not where to find the dark itself, and everything looked pretty dark to her, the Merkel found her way back on the road, further away from home than she had ever been. The hills were looking stranger by the hour. The rocks upon them seemed to move. They were the head people, a peaceful yet grumpy sort who didn't take kindly to somebody's perusing their lands. They muttered at her as she passed them, but she couldn't make out their words.
What's that, little headlings? Are you saying you know who took the sun away? But the heads only grunted and rolled away, back to the safety of their huts. Before she knew it, the little Murgle, lost and tired, came to stand before the dark itself with a burning question clenched in her fist. She felt like punching the dark with it, screaming it out like the howling Morgrim, laughing it out like the starving crawlers who had nothing left to eat but the hope of others. Who took the sun away? It then asked the Murgle. Its voice sounded like a dark forest, deep and ancient. It wasn't you, the Murgle retorted. You're its complete opposite. Surely you must be the reason it's gone. The dark then replied, I am but the absence of light, not its adversary. Light is because I am. How could I possibly hold it in my possession? The Murgle felt her anger fade. She understood little besides one thing, that the darkness was not behind the missing sun, nor her suffering.
The wanderer asked the craftsman, "How do you make such perfect sculptures?" To which he replied, "Oh, there's nothing to it really. I go into the dark woods. I find the sculpture already waiting inside a tree. And then it's just a matter of carving it out."
When I was a child, I exchanged letters with a monster in the woods. We were best pals, and we shared all our secrets with each other. One day, my sister told me that the monster wasn't real, that she'd written me all those letters to play a joke on me. But the joke's on her, because I knew the truth about the monster in the woods, and we exchange letters to this day.
Hark! Not very far now. Not very far. The flame longs to be free. uncaged, it cannot truly burn. How beautiful, how tantalizing. It is simply the way of fire. It is what it is. It is what it is. You must release it at the summit. The soothsayers have spoken.
When the nameless maker lost his creation to the dark, he went back to the great drawing board. In his desperation to regain control, he made an attempt to sculpt the face of the dark itself, something he thought he'd glimpsed in his nightmares. But the face wormed itself out of his mind's eye, and instead his twisted sculptures came alive, grinning and many-legged. Thus, the grinners escaped and seeped into this world as a reminder to the maker that there is always something to smile about, even when things don't go the way you hoped.
Whoa there! You look like you're about to move a mountain. That's what I get for trying to get in the way of a flame and its destination. Let him walk his walk. Ain't nothing gonna stop him now, looks like. Fairly well now, burnt one. You're going to Moon Mountain, and that walk is for you alone. You have a tough decision ahead of you to make, just like the ones who came before. But they're all long gone. In the end, all there's left to follow is your own heart.
When I was a child, I exchanged letters with a monster in the woods. We were best pals, and we shared all our secrets with each other. One day, my sister told me that the monster wasn't real, that she'd written me all those letters to play a joke on me. But the joke's on her, because I knew the truth about the monster in the woods, and we exchange letters to this day. Oi! You the caretaker of this little fireball? What were you thinking, letting him run off? Don't you know how precious he is? Oh, yes you are. A real sunbeam. Who took the sun away? We Merkles used to ask until it finally ceased to matter. Night skies like these, trouble seems so far away, doesn't it? I mean, isn't this just exactly my point? I used to be afraid of the dark, so much so that I became obsessed with these huge electric lamps left behind by the craftsmen of old. Couldn't pry myself away from them. I'd sleep outdoors and under their blinding radiance. One day, I woke up to the noise of quivering planks and nails. And would you believe it was my own house leaving me? It had gotten so restless it grew a pair of legs, took a name and went on a hike. Housey was its name, bless its soul. Houses have no imagination. But I bet it had a grander adventure than I could ever imagine. This little flame is your home, burnt one. Keep him nurtured and safe, and you'll always find yourself in the right place. Through the rain, in the dark, and over Moon Mountain. Look at those stars burning like so many candle lights. Isn't this enough?
What is the dark? Is it ugly and cruel? Is it a place for monstrosities, for fools lost in the woods? A terrible void where all your nightmares come true. The dark could be a friend, perhaps a space where we might find each other, all of us equal under its cloak. The dark could be an embrace and the release of the old, like taking off a tight shoe, laying bare one's feet, and taking a first step onto a new adventure. The dark could be a moment of clarity and calm, a break through icy clouds and the shameful stories we tell ourselves that fetter us to the clay and mud. The dark could be the space and time that we need to recover from the death of a dream and the quiet promise of new beginnings waiting on the other side of grief. In the end, the dark remains a mystery, its secrets locked away behind the stars. But one can rest assured that it is always there, watching, patiently waiting for us to enter it, with fire in our hearts and with eyes wide open.